Mr. President, right up there above that door, the muse of history, Cleo. For almost 2 centuries, Cleo and her clock have reminded the men and women in these hallowed halls that we are part of history, that our words and actions will face the judgment of history, and that we are part of the long and honorable heritage of our democracy. That is Cleo's advice. We come to this sacred Inauguration Day united in respect for our democracy and determined to make a difference in the lives of hardworking Americans. I have the privilege of presenting a flag to the Vice President of the United States, Mike Pence, one of the House of Representatives' own, right, Mr. Speaker? We know that Vice President Pence is strengthened by his faith, by his family, and by the foundation of experience he built here in this halls. I told him, Mr. President, he knows the territory. He knows the territory. It is now my honor to present one of the flags that flew above the Capitol today to the Vice President of the United States, Mike Pence. We pray for you, for your beloved wife, Karen, for Michael, Charlotte, and Audrey, all of your family. God bless you, Mr. Vice President. And remembering that this flag that we pledge to every day for liberty and justice for all is our calling. I look forward to working with you. Now it's my honor to present you with this flag.
Well, those of us who served in the House or still serve in the House think the Senate is never quite as quick as the House, but maybe when it comes to photographs we are, and my good friend Chuck Schumer is going to come and make that presentation.
Well, thank you, Roy. And first, let's have a hand for Roy. He did a great job, he and his staff, on this inauguration. Now, Mr. President, earlier this year, Iris and I were truly blessed. We watched our older daughter, Jessica, marry the boy of her dreams. We are so happy. That's when I learned, though, that nothing's official until there's a photo of it. So, Mr. President, now it's official. I present to you the photograph of your inauguration.
So, Mr. President, Mr. Vice President, and Mrs. Trump and Mrs. Pence, a gift that you're going to have a chance to look at more later and a lot more over the years is something that really a tradition that started now. This is the 8th inauguration where the Lennox Company has made a special presentation of a gift made uniquely for each of you and uniquely for this event. This year, the company proposed and the committee determined that the bowl they had in mind was something that you would value for a long time. The one that the President has and the First Lady has is an etching of the White House looking across, directly across at the Jefferson Memorial, and the one that the Pences will be presented with and have at their home would be the Capitol looking down at the Lincoln Memorial. The artist who was with us the other day talked about trying to capture LaFont's design for the city as well as how this city came together. Timothy Carter was the designer. The glassmaster Peter O'Rourke made these. They also have a compass in the bottom of them, or an etched-in compass. And remembering, Mr. President, as the Vice President already knows, that the center of Washington is not at the White House. It's actually right here in the center of the Capitol building. And the city is then laid out northwest, northeast, southwest, southeast from that place. The other unique thing for the First Lady and her parents that would never have been such an important thing before, the glass came from Slovenia. The designer thought that the best glass in the world for this particular design, which he began to work on last summer, was glass from Slovenia. Maybe he knew something that none of us quite knew for sure at that time. I'd now like to have the toast to the Vice President and the President. And the Speaker and I both served with Mike Pence, so it was a challenge for me to give up this moment. But Mike Pence, a man of the House, the Speaker of the House, will bring that toast, and then the Majority Leader will come and toast to the President. And, Mr. President, if you have anything to say at the end of those remarks, I'd also like to say, so I don't forget to do it, thanks so much to the staff that made all this effort happen today. Stacy McBride, the staff director of the Rules Committee and the staff director for the Joint Committee on the Inauguration, Maria Lohmeyer, who came on board to do this. Her last event was the Pope's visit, so that just got her ready, Mr. President, for your visit. The great work of the Capitol Police, the Sergeant-at-Arms of the House and the Senate, the cooperative effort of the D.C. Police. Our goal today was for this event to be an event where people came, and when they left the event outside, that they felt like they had all the freedom that you could possibly have and still have all the security you needed. I hope people left feeling that way, and if they did, it was the great work of so many other people. Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Roy. This is a great honor and privilege to toast my dear friend and former colleague, Vice President Mike Pence. I just really enjoy saying that. That's, I think about the times that we've walked back and forth just down this hall on the way to a vote. But if memory serves, more often than not, we walked that way because we were being hauled into the Speaker's office for being admonished for being rabble-rousers in the Republican Study Committee. We've had so many great memories here. I know this job makes you an officer of the Senate, but you, Mike Pence, will always be a part of the people's house. We talk about our two bodies quite a bit, and if I had to use a sports analogy, I would say we play rugby, they play golf. Just saying. I'm reminded of something, though, that I think is pretty profound. That makes me think of Mike Pence. I'm reminded of the words of Mike's favorite author, Mark Halperin. As long as you have life and breath, believe. As long as you have life and breath, believe. Ladies and gentlemen, there was no one that I have served with who brings more belief to his work than Mike Pence. No one believes more deeply in our country and her people. No one believes more deeply in our capacity to do great things. He is a happy warrior. The President could not have chosen a better partner for this work than Mike Pence. So, Mr. President, Mr. Vice President, we raise our glasses to you, to Karen, and to your beautiful family. May you have every blessing and success as the 48th Vice President of the United States of America. Sláinte.
Well, the theme of today's inauguration is uniquely American. There are some words that come to mind when you hear that phrase: big, bold, energetic, enterprising, and resilient. Always looking to the next horizon. Sure sounds like our country, and it sure sounds like Donald Trump. Our president has surmounted formidable challenges getting to this moment. He's been underestimated often, but he never let it stop him from succeeding. We're wishing him similar success as he turns to the charge of governing. We face many challenges, but we've been challenged before and emerged stronger. We live in changing times, yes, but some things endure, and we celebrate one of them today. This inauguration is a reminder of our common story as Americans. And on this most uniquely American of occasions, I ask you to stand and join me in raising a glass Mr. President, may you find every success in the years ahead. May you unite our country behind a common vision and renew the promise that makes our country so great. Hear, hear.
Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Mitch and Paul and our great Vice President. I don't think anybody wants to hear me speak anymore today, right? So we'll cut it short. But we have so many of our cabinet members here. I see my generals. Those generals are going to keep us so safe. They're going to have a lot of problems the other side. They're going to look at a couple of them. These are central casting. If I'm doing a movie, I pick you, General Mattis, who's doing really well. Even Chuck likes General Mattis, right? And General Kelly. And we had a very interesting talk. Kiddingly, he thinks we're doing great at the cabinet level, but we're going to do just fine. We're going to do just fine. But you know, I'll tell you, there is something that I wanted to say, because I was very honored, very, very honored, when I heard that President Bill Clinton and Secretary Hillary Clinton was coming today, and I think it's appropriate to say, and I'd like you to stand up. I'd like you to stand up. And honestly, there's nothing more I can say, because I have a lot of respect for those two people. So thank you all for being here. And we're going to have 4 great years, hopefully, of peace and prosperity. We'll be working very, very hard. Our cabinet's lined up and ready. I know eventually Chuck's going to approve them, I'm sure. I really believe that. And we're all dealing together. We all want the same thing. We're all good people. Whether you're a Republican or Democrat, doesn't make any difference. We're going to get along. Again, thank you very much. It's an honor. And Roy, you have done a spectacular job. You and Tom Barrett. And I want to thank you. Your wife. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you very much.